There are two that I'd like to talk about. First, about Asians. Second, about bisexuals. These stereotypes are pervasive, persistent, and pernicious myths. They're about bodies and what we do with them and what can be done with them. For Asian men, the stereotype is often that they're passive, they're submissive, and bottoms, as well as twinks, paired with often older white men, whereas with Asian women, we're often seen as submissive as well. Either that or always sexually available. So it's often one thing or the other. And we are by turns sexually fetishized or ignored. It's very commonly nothing in between. Asians are also seen as white adjacent, especially if we're minority, model minorities, whereas if you transgress those boundaries, you haven't shown your worth and you should therefore go back to where you came from. Acceptance is therefore not authentic but conditional. For bisexuals or bi+ people, again, we are simultaneously non-existent or we are insatiable, sexually insatiable, indecisive or greedy, and that we're either secretly lesbian or gay, and that we're just doing it for kicks, and we're sexual tourists. For me, such stereotypes are dangerous because they can lead to internal self-hatred. I define a good ally as someone who welcomes and embraces difference and understands that it's all okay, that we are not the same, and that we're not simply to be tolerated, but to be celebrated for our differences. For me, they're also someone who learns about minoritized cultures, who does their own learning instead of seeking to be taught by you, who engages in dialogue in order to understand where you are coming from. Someone who's empathetic, someone who uses their privilege or their own lived experience of oppression in order to stand up for you. For me, when allies provide the right type of support, I feel cared for, supported, considered, and that my life means something, and that my sexuality doesn't get in the way of someone's acceptance of me, and that I don't feel to be made like an alien or strange or different. These things don't have to be grand gestures. They just have to be small, everyday things that make me feel that I belong.